This is a sample slicing technique I use to springboard ideas. It's very effective with samples that are more atmospheric and don't have obvious slice points, like a breakbeat or something. So we'll start by bringing this Russian choral sample into the timeline. I'm just going to fill up every line with the sample. And then I'm going to fill up the pattern effect commands with the sample slice command, which is the S command. And I'm going to select all that and then do selection randomize to give us just random slices. See it jumping around the waveform here. So now I'm going to add an ADSR envelope. It totally changes the character when you adjust the decay and sustain. So we'll probably adjust this a little more down the line. This is just a starting point. So when you do selection randomize, it only does it in values of 10. So what I'm doing here is just going in and putting in the hex values 1 through F, just manually typing them in to make this a little more genuinely random. If any power users know a quicker way to do this, I'd be delighted to hear it. So here's what that sounds like. We'll add a compressor to sort of bring the floor of the sample up, which I think will help accentuate the texture of this sort of more atmospheric sample. This is feeling a little thin, so I'm going to add in a line of the sample, but 1 octave down. And I think we could actually throw in another octave down as well. That might really round it up. So I'll just select all this, then transpose it down, and then paste that same thing back in. Oh yeah, that's better because you can hear the bass now. It's sounding a little muddy. I think we'll hit it with an EQ. What I really like to do with EQs is I'll do a high pass and a bit of a low shelf, and then I'll take the individual bands and slide them around until I hear the spot where the resonances are kind of unpleasant, and then I'll just pull those out. So I don't really have a specific technique here, I just go by ear. Easier to switch to the slider mode, because if you try to pull the bands down in the graph mode, it can be hard to keep it going straight up and down. It'll have a tendency to veer left and right. So I think doing this just sort of clears up some of the mud in the sample so we can get a little more clarity. I heard some resonances in here that I actually enjoyed a bit, so I'm going to bring this section up and then I'll put another bump down in the 80 hertz range, which is like a nice sort of chunky bass sound. actually try to arrange the sample into the order I'll have it in a loop is to switch up the lines per beat a little bit just to see what it sounds very roughly slower and faster. That sounds awful. Not so bad. I think I like it like this. So now I'll just listen. Yeah, I definitely like it better. Now I'll listen and see if there's something that sticks out to me that I want to bring into my loop. I like that section there at the end. I'll probably do a loop of around 16 lines. So I'll try to get that last bit coming in at the end. That started a little late. A little late. A little late still. Now it's a little early. There it is. So I'll just copy this 16 line loop and paste it on step 16, step 32, and step 48, and that'll get us the whole 64 lines. I could always shorten the length of the actual track here, but I find it's easier to program in fills and stuff if I've got the whole 64 lines to work with. That sounds good. Obviously I want to be working in 4/4, so I'll switch this back to 4 lines per beat and I'll adjust the tempo. That's a little slow. Probably like 115. Alright, this needs a kick, and then we can have a little more context for what the sample sounds like in a mix. This is my favorite Renoise stock kick. It's the sub dark. Oops. That sounds good. Mess with the compression a little bit. We just need to jack this up. Let's see if we can get this ADSR sounding ideal. That sounds worse, I think. Yeah, I like that. A little more choppy. Alright, I fast forwarded a little bit so that you can hear without the terrible sample selection phase, but here's this with a little bit of bass, and then I'll hit you with the full mix.